Thank you to Brand24 for sponsoring a section of this video.
Have you ever been handed a brand that you need to manage, and so you need to quickly analyze it to figure out what exactly it is that you're dealing with? Or maybe you have your own business and you're not really sure how to objectively audit your own brand to find problems and fix them. Most brand problems start out completely unseen and they surface to the top when it's almost too late to fix them. So today we're going to pause our day-to-day work and we are going to objectively and without any bias audit our own brand. I'm Rabia. I'm an experienced brand manager and brand consultant, and in this video I'm going to show you these 6 ways that I always audit or analyze a brand and the exact softwares and tools that I use to do this. Let's first cover the basics. A common mistake I've seen junior brand managers make is compiling data, facts, and screenshots about a brand into a presentation, making it aesthetic and calling it a brand analysis. Yeah, that's not an analysis. That's just facts that anyone can Google. An analysis requires not just compiling data, but more importantly, introspecting and why the data is what it is and what you recommend to do about it. So the analysis is useless unless it comes with actionable recommendations that can benefit the business. A format that I like to use is a top-down format, and it looks something like this. So at the top, I always have a key question, which is the main question that I'm trying to answer with my brand analysis. And then I add the main findings and insights. This is usually just like 2 or 3 main bullet points of what was the main takeaway from the research. Then I add my strategies and recommendations based on the findings and the insights. And then finally, towards the end, I add all of the screenshots and the supporting data that anyone can then refer to just in case they want to go into more detail. Depending on why you're analyzing the brand and who this research is for, you can just go deeper into one of the 6 areas, if you wish, that I'll talk about in just a second. Now let's start the analysis. I'm going to be using Oatly as an example. For the internal analysis, you have to start with the most important existential question, which is, why does this brand exist? It sounds so basic, but here's what any experienced brand manager will tell you. Over time, as a business grows and as it hires more people and it launches more products, they often lose alignment with why they started out in the first place, and also they lose vision of where they're actually going. It's like that restaurant that you used to go to with your family all the time growing up, but then someday you fell out of love with it, maybe when the management changed or maybe when the food didn't taste quite as good anymore. That can actually happen to your brand as well, because brands lose alignment with their mission, vision, and their proposition all the time. So you have to be really careful. Now, how do I do this analysis for Oatly? We can go look into Oatly's website and check out their mission and vision to see why they started out doing what they're doing. And everything that we analyze after this, we will compare it with, does this achieve Oatly's mission and vision? The value proposition of the brand is especially important, and this is, what solution does the brand provide or what problem does it solve? For Oatly, we can see that it's this one. We're a Swedish food company that makes delicious products from oats, which in turn makes it easier for people to live lives that are less taxing on the planet and their bodies. On this page, they also talk about their mission, vision, and values. And as I'm reading this, the questions that I'm asking myself are, what is the core solution that this business provides? What does it offer, as in the categories and the individual SKUs and the service packages that this business has created to deliver the core solution? Do these seem relevant for this year and for the coming 5 years? With this whole section, we will hopefully have an idea of what is the core identity of the brand and where does it stand today. Next, we'll assess the brand's sales performance and market share data. If it's your business, then you will already have this data, and if you're managing this brand for someone else, then you can ask them for this data, and it'll usually be in Excel files and PDF reports. For Oatly, I can get this from the investors section on their website and find their earnings reports for investors, and this is going to be a very juicy source to dig into. The questions to think about as you're looking into this are, what is the revenue compared to the last 5 years? Is it trending up or down? What is the profit and profitability like? Is it trending up or down? What is the market share data? Are we gaining market share or losing it? How many categories and SKUs per category does this business have? Have there been any big product launches recently? What are the best performing and worst performing products? What does this tell me about the overall health of this brand as a business? Is it growing, shrinking, or stagnating? Why could that be? Questions like these help us dig deeper into the facts and try to understand the story of where this brand is coming from historically and where it seems to be going. Now let's evaluate the how. How does this brand or business show up for customers? For this, you can collect lots of examples of the various brand assets like these. I can find all of this just by searching the brand's own website and socials, and also on the retailers where it's sold. Now, to evaluate all these elements, you can ask yourself questions like, do these elements truly convey what the business does? Can you tell what the values of the business are? Do the words that are used, like the copywriting and the tagline, really align with what this business set out to do? Is the visual identity still relevant and appealing? Can I possibly service some customers to find out what they think about it? You can make your own assessment about whether you think these elements are helping the brand and business or not. In this section, you can also consider doing focus groups with different customers and ask them about what they think about it, just to check whether these elements are actually resonating with the target audience or not. Now let's move on to the external analysis of this brand. First thing I like to look at is the consumer opinion and perception of the brand. So what are people saying about the brand on different places online? Like, for example, the brand's own social media pages, in news articles, in PR, on podcasts, and also on other social media channels. You can do this manually by going to the brand's own social media pages and taking screenshots of all the comments that look interesting. So either extremely positive comments or extremely negative comments. Or you can do this quickly by using an AI-based social listening tool called Brand24, which is very kindly working with me for this portion of the video. So if I want to check very quickly what people are saying online about Oatly, then I can do this easily by creating a project about Oatly. Now I can see everything that is being said online about Oatly across all these sources like Facebook, Instagram, podcasts, newsletters, blogs, and I can even filter to see only the positive or negative sentiments. I can also create other projects about Oatly's competitors, and then I can see what's being said about them, and I can very easily generate competitive analysis reports like this to compare the brands and compare their reach and compare the sentiment analysis between the brands. My personal favorite feature is this thing called AI Insights, which is AI-powered brand reports. So for example, for Oatly, it automatically analyzes the trends for the week, and it gives me this personalized and actionable insights and suggestions, so I don't have to spend any time creating the reports myself. If you would like to try this for free, then please do use my link. I'll leave it in the description. Now, because I have this Brand24 subscription, I can already see that Oatly recently lost a case in the UK court, and now they can't call their milk anymore. So this would be a very interesting insight that I would definitely include as part of my analysis, and I would really think about what this means for all of the messaging and the advertising of the brand in the UK, for example. Also, looking at what people are saying online is such a good way to figure out whether what the brand is doing is actually resonating and translating with the customers, and if there's a disconnect, then the audience will always talk about it. After looking at consumer opinion, I can then look at the brand's own social media analytics to see the engagement with the brand. You can do this by individually looking at the analytics natively in each social media platform. So in the YouTube Studio, TikTok Studio, or Meta's Business Suite, or you can even use a software or a tool like this. I've personally used all of these at some point, and I find that they're quite similar in their results. So you can use any that you are most comfortable with. Next, we need to look at the direct and indirect competition in the market and compare our brand to the competition against metrics like these. For example, for Oatly, the target audience is people who drink dairy alternative milk. So the direct competition are other brands and businesses that also sell oat milk as this solution for dairy alternative milk. The indirect competition is other brands and businesses that sell a different solution for the same problem to our target audience. So for Oatly, this is other brands that sell other kinds of dairy alternative milk, like almond milk or soy milk. Once you've identified your direct and indirect competition, you can then map it out against your brand on a brand positioning map or a perceptual map to figure out how your brand is positioned in the market versus your competitors. You can do this against all the metrics that I mentioned earlier. And as you're doing this exercise, some questions you can ask yourself are: does my brand have a clear positioning in the market that differentiates it? What are the gaps in the market that no brand has tapped into yet? Can I launch products to fill those gaps? What adjustments can I make to strengthen my brand more effectively? Do I need to reposition it? Is the positioning of my competitors better or more favorable in some way? Are there any threats that I need to plan for? Finally, the last piece of the puzzle is looking at consumer and market trends. Even if your brand doesn't change, the world around you will. So you need to be aware of where the market and consumer tastes are going. The best place to find reports on trends like this are usually professional agencies like Mintel, Kantar, Nielsen, and Statista. If your brand is a medium to large size company, then you will probably be able to get the budget to be able to invest in these very important reports. However, you don't have the budget for these paid reports, then another really great place to find out more about trends is Google Trends, because you can really analyze the different search volumes and see what search terms are gaining popularity over time and what the trends are looking like, what people are searching for, and it's like an easier, more budget solution to figure out where the market is heading. For example, for Oatly, I could use Google Trends to find the search volumes for all the different kinds of alternative milks, and that would give me a very good idea of which types of dairy alternative milks are gaining popularity and which ones are declining in popularity, and it would give me a pretty good idea of where the market is heading. Now finally, we will combine all of our research from the internal and external analysis and put it all in one place and try to turn it into a cohesive story. And most importantly, we will now add actionable recommendations to all of these things that we found out about the brand. So we're going to lean into all of the things that are working for our brand, fill in any gaps for things that have not been addressed yet, and also make plans for anything that is an urgent crisis or an urgent risk or a threat that we see in the business, and we make a plan for it and we add that as part of a recommendation. I have to go back to doing brand analysis for a couple of my own clients, but I really hope that this video conveyed the importance of brand analysis, and I hope that you're going to take the opportunity to step back from your business or from your brand and really review it objectively without any bias and try to diagnose it and find hidden things that may be going on and create strategies to fix it right away. There's one takeaway from this video. It's that remember that your brand may not be changing, but the world around you will. I'll see you in my next video. Please do subscribe so you don't miss it. Bye!